How's it going, guys? This is Holly with Grindworx, and today we are talking about the top 5 best-selling CRKT knives. Yes, that is CRKT, not Cricut, otherwise known as Columbia River Knife and Tool. Now, CRKT is well known for putting out some pretty sweet designs. They are a very good balance of budget and quality. So if you're looking for a decent knife but hoping not to spend a whole lot, they do have some pretty stellar options for you. This one right here that we're looking at is the CRKT Vox Large Batum Folding Knife. This thing is only about 30 bucks on the site right now. I believe it's currently on sale. It's got a total length of 7.875 inches with a 3.125 inch blade. That's 8CR13 MOV. That's a steel you're gonna see a lot with CRKT because it's not a super expensive one, but it still performs decently well. That's a drop point blade with a flat grind and a satin finish and a thumb hole opener. We have a G10 handle scale on this side paired with a stainless steel frame, and you can see your frame lock on that side. It's 7 ounces overall, not a surprising weight for such a big knife. I mean, check out the stock on that blade. That is a thick spine right there. It has a 2-way reversible pocket clip so you can wear it tip down or tip up. And it was designed by Jesper Voxnes. He is a well-known designer who has worked with CRKT quite a bit. And you can often see a little bit, and his designs are often pretty recognizable. You can see a lot of similarities between them. We're going to look at another Voxnes design later on, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, as this is a big knife, it's not the most comfortable for me. I do like that it feels so beefy. I love the width of that blade. I feel like you're going to be able to do a lot with that. It certainly doesn't feel dainty by any stretch of the imagination. There is a similar model, basically just a shrunken down version of this called the Compact Batum, which is just over 6 inches with a 2.5 inch blade and weighs only 3.63 ounces. So if you like this design but you want something a little bit more pocket friendly, I would definitely recommend that you take a look at that, because overall I love this design. The ergonomics are great. I love this generous sharpening choil there at the base of the blade, which also doubles as a finger choil, so you can really choke up on that blade. This is a knife that I feel like you could carry every day, but you could also take it with you on some camping trips. You know, it crosses over pretty well into multiple categories, so very useful, very functional. Next up, we're going to take a look at a fixed blade. This is a CRKT Ox fixed blade knife, just $24 on the site. It has a total length of 7.5 inches. That is a 3.5 inch blade. Again, 8CR13 MOV steel in a drop point style with a hollow grind and a satin finish, and that is full tang. We've got GRN handle scales, a tough polymer material, this really interesting honeycomb pattern. It's just under 3 ounces, 2.9 ounces, so fairly lightweight. And it comes with this fitted GRN sheath as well, which also has this clip on it. I wasn't able to find any definitive information on how this clip is supposed to function, but one of the possibilities is that this would allow you to carry the knife in your pocket without it sliding too deeply into your pocket. Or perhaps it is meant to help you hang the knife from your belt and provide some resistance so you can deploy the blade against the resistance of your belt. Like that. This is a Lucas Burnley design, and overall I really like the look. It is comfortable. I really like this jimping at the base of the blade here. I think I would have preferred, for once in my life, actually a larger handle. This is very slim and rather narrow, which in some cases I think would be a really good thing, but for a fixed blade, I think I want something that's got maybe a little bit more of a palm swell, so it just would help me feel like I have a greater purchase on it. So I think that's something that I would appreciate seeing, and maybe a slightly larger sharpening choil. I do appreciate a guard right there, since the handle is so slender, so that you're not going to run into issues with your hand sliding up the blade. There is a lanyard hole down there, so you could definitely throw some paracord on there, jazz it up, make it easier to get out of your pocket if you're wearing gloves or something like that. So overall, again, I'd say this is a good design. Probably not my favorite as far as fixed blades go, but for 24 bucks, that's a pretty good deal. Next up, we're gonna look at a really interesting take on a multi-tool. This is the CRKT Guppie multi-tool. It's just $20 on the site right now. And this is unlike any other multi-tool I've ever seen. It includes a basic slip joint blade, which is 2 inches long. It's 3CR13 MOV, in a drop point style, hollow grind, black finish, and rather than a nail nick, you've got a, I don't know if you want to call that a thumb hole, more than likely I would just open that by pinching it the way I would a nail nick. It also has an adjustable wrench. You ever seen that on a multi-tool before? I certainly haven't. I've definitely seen wrenches, but nothing like that. That's gonna open up a whole other world of possibilities as far as the tasks you can perform with this. It does have an LED light, and I like that they make it easy to replace the battery in there. You see we've got that plastic tab that's keeping the battery fresh and new at the moment. I do not plan on pulling that out, but there's your light right there with a simple button to activate it. We also have 2 flathead driver bits as well as 2 Phillips driver bits, just a couple different sizes and options there. And that right there is where you would fit those bits. And then we also have a combined carabiner and bottle opener. So very clever design. Initially, I thought that this would be kind of awkward to use, especially that blade there with these bits kind of getting in the way, but it turns out that this whole bit holder is magnetized and you can remove it. In which case you end up with a very user-friendly grip. So really ingenious. I love that they've found some really creative ways to include a lot of different tools, especially tools that you otherwise are unlikely to see in a multi-tool. So pretty robust, pretty useful, and it's at a great price. And don't forget, you do have a pocket clip there to make it easy to carry. So there's the Guppie. Next we have this number. This is a CRKT Yukanto. This is a fixed blade knife. It's on sale right now for $34.99. It is also discontinued, so once it's gone, it is gone. We've got a total length of 8.69 inches. Here we have a 4.54 inch blade. This is Oz 8 steel. They're calling this a Tonto, but that's a pretty stylized Tonto. Looks more to me like, I don't know, maybe a trailing point style blade. It's got a pretty tough black finish. Then we've got some very aggressively textured G10 handle scales here that I feel like that's going to be a pretty solid grip with all that jimping and this texture that is almost like micarta in the way that it's woven and left very rough. I cannot tell if this is full tang, so that's something to consider. It does come with this polymer sheath with a MOLLE compatible gear clip, so that's kind of nice. You can attach it to a pack. Probably not going to work for your belt though. I would definitely say that this knife looks cool, and as far as kind of giving a nod to those classic Japanese designed fighting knives, I mean, look at the milling that they've done to the handle here to kind of mimic the wrap that you would see on some of those authentic Japanese knives. Definitely very cool, but in my eyes, not terribly practical. It's really only useful for one thing, and I think you all know what that is. Lastly, we have the CRKT Pilar folding knife, and this right here, this is my favorite knife on the table. This is only about 30 bucks on the site right now. It's got a total length of just under 6 inches, 5.9 inches. That's a 2.4 inch blade, 8 CR13 MOV coming back, in a sheep's foot style with a flat grind and a satin finish. We do have another thumb hole opener, and then we have a stainless steel handle and frame. There's your frame lock. Love me some frame lock. It's 4.2 ounces, so not a featherweight, but not super heavy either. And then we have a two-way reversible pocket clip. Again, tip down versus tip up. This is the other Jesper Voxnaes design I was talking about. If you hold these side by side, you can definitely tell they come from the same family, so to speak. I really dig the sleek look. I like that they went with a bead blast finish on this handle. Kind of helps reduce the fingerprints showing up so much. I like that it's got such a chunky blade, so even though it's small, I feel like it could take on some tougher chores, and it doesn't end up adding very much to the overall size of the knife. It's got great ergos similar to the Batum over here. We've got a great sharpening choil, very generous, that does double duty as a finger choil, really helps you to choke up on that blade and get a lot of leverage. So I've got one of these that I love to carry, very useful, and I mean 30 bucks, you really can't beat that. Fantastic knife. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about CRKT, because it seems to be one of those brands that you either love or don't love so much. So I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know what your favorite CRKT knife is and which of these you think you'll be adding to your collection. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when a new video drops. As always, I'd invite you to jump on Grindworx.com, where we have many more CRKT knives to choose from. I'd also encourage you to join our email list. You'll get a couple emails a week kind of pointing you to the best deals that are going on at the moment. If you're interested in any of these knives, I'll have links in the description below. But at the end of the day, guys, I just enjoy spending this time with you. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.